Hello and good morning. My name's Gene, and today we're going to do just a little standing sequence involving a couple of dynamic movements, getting some heat into the body. For now, start yourself off at the center of your mat. Soles of the feet planted on the ground. Maybe you want to shift back and forth on the heels, raising the toes and then raising the heels respectively. Just to give your feet a chance to plant themselves wherever they'd like. Eyes can be opened or closed. Upper body can do whatever it wants. Shoulder circles, neck circles. It's just a time to move organically for yourself, introducing your body to the act of moving in a mindful way. And added to that introduction, notice your breath. A hand can go to the heart and a hand can go to the abdomen. If you would like to take that moment and recognize, realize, even corporealize that sensation of a mindful breath. Air moves in through your nose as you breathe in. And then air leaves the body through the nose or mouth as you breathe out. Eventually, the movements that you do begin to soften. And your body finds a place to be still, even if it's just for a breath or two at most. Good job. One more breath here. And as you find yourself recognizing your personal breath, this can be a good spot to invite an intention for your practice today. Intention can be any idea, any thought, anything on your mind right now that you want to cultivate with your yoga practice today. A little patience, a little love, even a little bit of confidence can go a long way in creating the road for your asana work, your movements, your postural places. Take one more breath here at your pace. And always the option to stay still a little longer if your body wants that grounding time. Also a nice time to make some more conscious movements again. Taking a couple of neck circles to the right, working the neck out nice and easy. Feel your ear move to your shoulder, the chin move to the chest. Taking yourself to that other side, other ear to other shoulder, and releasing behind. Whether you start right or left, your choice. Just give yourself time to reverse those movements. Good work. The neck a little more warmed up, just gonna get the heart space, the chest a bit more active. So arms come down to your sides, shoulders will begin rolling back a couple times, circling to the back and then circling to the front. Your heart might follow along, pressing forward as you move back and then sinking, hollowing down as you press forward with the arms and shoulders. Take some time, reverse the movements again. Notice what is stirring in your chest. A little bit of heat is starting to make itself known in your heart space, your Anahata chakra. The heart can be a great mechanism to lean into, especially in finding aspects of love and confidence within. And then finding yourself back at center, easy arms, soft hands. Take a breath in, arms rise up to meet the sky above you. And then exhale, just hinging forward from your hips. Doesn't have to look a certain way. Allow the body to free fall as your legs, your feet are planted on the ground. Take a forward fold here. Starting to stretch out the backs of the legs. You can even inhale, lift through the hips, pointing your sit bones, the rear to the sky. And then exhale, ease the heart a little closer to your legs. Releasing the lower back, trusting the feet to have you planted securely on the ground. 5 breaths here. Great job. One more breath. And then as you inhale, you're going to bend your knees, scoot the tailbone softly under your spine, roll up vertebrae by vertebrae. All the while, the arms reach up to the sky once your spine is rolled up. And then exhale, pull down from the forearms. Sigh out any tension in the body. You're back in your standing start. So, with the spine a little more warmed up, the body a little bit more activated, we're going to move to your personal top of the mat, finding a Tadasana, a mountain pose. Plant the feet down on the ground where they feel most comfortable. Just going to start off doing a traditional Surya Namaskar, sun salutation, getting some of that heat flowing through. But before you move, take another 2 breaths. Recognize your intention today, your personal sankalpa. What are you moving with? What are you wanting to be a part of your practice today? And then with some time to settle your intention on the mind, take an inhale, raise the arms up to the sun, however you'd like. And then exhale, hinging forward from the hips as the heart leads you down to a forward fold. From here, inhale, raise the spine up halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. And then exhale, bend the knees, plant the hands, step, hop, or float the feet back, take a high plank. Then elbows bend in, chaturanga, all the way to the mat. Inhale, peel the spine up, take a cobra or upward dog, and then toes curled on your mat. Exhale, press into the palms on the ground. Move through the arches of your feet. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. 5 breaths here. Breathe. Always welcome to drop down to the knees and take a tabletop variation, child's pose, downward facing hero, any of those alternatives for yourself. Two more breaths. And if you took child's pose or anything in tabletop, come back to a tabletop shape. And then taking a breath in, downward dog or tabletop, look up at the thumbs where they meet. And use your exhale to step the feet forward or take a tabletop back in a forward fold. From here, you're breathing in, spine levels itself halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. And then exhale, a soft bend in the knees, hands angle down, forward fold. One more breath in, the knees bend, spine rolls up, arms meet the sun once more. And then exhale, press down through the forearms, take lessons of that salutation to your heart space, your samasthiti. Nice job, great time to take a swig of water, a drink of water if you'd like. And check in on your body all the same. How are you feeling? That little bit of heat you're starting to develop, we're gonna add in another salutation, but use it as a baseline for your flow, a few postures today. But root down in the feet. As the feet are planted, the rest of your body begins stacking joint by joint, limb by limb, piece by piece, until you're back in your Tadasana, your mountain pose. And even using mountain pose as an active and dynamic asana, notice the lengthening of your legs, backs of the calves, backs of the hamstrings, moving upward through the quadriceps, the glutes, the spine, the torso. Your heart center is extended upward, the crown of the head lifted up, shoulders are soft away from the ears. 2 more breaths in this active mountain. Palms of the hands can face the front of your room, the sides towards your body, or you can always have your hands at heart center. 1 more breath, feel your Tadasana, feel that active mountain pose today. Good job. And then taking an inhale once more, the arms are going to rise upward, meeting the sun. From here, breathe out through the nose or mouth, bend the knees, take your Utkatasana, your chair pose. Now it's all in feeling your feet firmly on the mat. Hands can come down to heart center again if you'd like. And it's just as much about noticing your tailbone. If you feel like your rear is pushing itself outward a little bit, you can think of tucking the tailbone softly in. Again, giving yourself that steep slope for a spine. Breathe. Sink in a little deeper. You've got 1 more breath. And then breathing out, sighing through the mouth whenever you're ready. Take 1 more breath in. Sink the knees down a little deeper. Now your right foot is going to stay where it is. And then exhale, leading back with your left toes, planting the toes on the ground, heel lifted up. Just taking a high lunge here. Now starting off with that left knee nice and bent. Breathe 5 breaths in this high lunge. Option to bring your hands upward to the sky. Or again, any kind of arm placement that gives you a little bit of dynamicism, a little bit of heat. Just connecting to that tapas, that warmth, circulating within. One more breath here. Really rooting down into your right foot, left toes. Good job. Now taking your next breath in, you're going to lengthen your arms into a diagonal and straightening that left leg. And then exhale, leaning forward as the arms drop down. Just taking a few arm movements here. Inhale, left leg straight, bring your arms up to the sky. And then exhale, swoop the arms down slowly to a low diagonal. 1 more time, breathe in, arms come up. Good job, good balance. Exhale, arms come back down. And then this time, inhale, arms come back up, high lunge with that straightened left leg. And then exhale, turn your left foot 45 degrees from your mat. Bending again into your right knee, warrior one, Virabhadrasana. 5 breaths here. Great moment to come back to your intention this morning, whatever extra sankalpa or heartfelt thoughts you're bringing with you. Love, patience, confidence. Really feeling the strength in your warrior today. Nice job. Next breath in, you're going to really root down into your right foot. Make sure the knee is comfortably bent. And then shifting your body weight forward, exhale. Bring the left foot against the side of the right leg. Soft bend in the left knee. Now you're going to find a focus in front of you, a place for your eyes to settle. This is your dristi. From here, you can stay with that left foot, toes on the ground, or slide the left foot up the right leg. Just giving yourself tree pose, Vrksasana for a few breaths. Lengthening again through your right leg and finding that even resistance with the left foot pressed against the right side of the leg. Now, if you start stumbling, it's all good. Breathe. Hands again can be heart center or bring them up to the sky. Three more breaths here. Nice work. And if you expressed your hands in any way, this is your time to inhale, bring them back down to heart center. And then exhale, left foot comes down to the mat, bend the knees. You're back in chair pose, back in Utkatasana. 5 breaths here. So you've got 4 postures, your chair, your high lunge into the arms, your warrior, and your tree pose, all connecting you to this soft heat, this little bit of dynamicism in your practice, in your day. Just like on that first side of chair pose or first instance, notice your spine, notice your knees, notice your feet. What are they feeling here? One more breath. And then inhale, sink just a little bit deeper, rooting down in the left foot. Use your exhale, lead back with your right toes, plant them on the mat. High lunge, Anjanyasana, the more Sanskrit name. Breathe. Again, arms wherever placement feels good for you. Always nice to have the elbows bent, palms open wide for a heart opener, if you really want to lean into that open heart. Great job. 3 more breaths. Nice job. Taking an inhale, the body weight shifts forward a little bit, planting in that left foot as the hands come up. And then exhale, straightening the right leg as you send your arms down to a low diagonal. 2 more times. Inhale. Think of your core nice and active as your hands come up. And then exhale, ease the hands down low, low diagonal. 1 more time. Inhale, arms high. Breathe through any tension. Exhale, sigh that tension out through the mouth. Arms are low. Last inhale, arms reach up high, good job. And then exhale, bending the left knee, turn the right foot 45 degrees from the back of your mat. Warrior one. 5 breaths here. Find your warrior today. What does your body feel like doing? Maybe you want to push back on the left hip, pull forward softly on the right, just to give some squareness in your hips. Not a requirement. It's what your body is asking of you. Nice job. Last breath. And then rooting down in your left foot, you're setting yourself up for tree pose. Breathe in through your nose. And then breathe out, shifting the body weight forward. Straighten the left leg. Right foot sole against the side of the left leg. Just like before, find your point of focus to the space in front of you. That drishti, that line of sight. And then once you've got a place to focus your eyes on, you can slide the right foot up the left leg. Always welcome to take your hands and help the right foot up a little higher if you'd like. And all the while, opening your right knee out to the side. A lot of different things you can think about with your Vrksasana, your tree pose. Again, express your tree. Allow your branches to take any form they'd like. Whatever you're choosing for yourself, just make sure that you're breathing. Nice work. Last breath here. And if your branches express themselves, inhale, bring the hands down to heart center. And then exhale. Come back with that right foot on the ground. Return to mountain pose Tadasana. Shake everything out too. Just move the body. Nice time to drink some water if you'd like. And then once you've made those movements for yourself, again, maybe chuckling at any of the stumbles, it's nice to take a moment and smile and be like, hey, my tree wasn't quite balanced today, and that's totally fine. Maybe tomorrow it's something different. And it's all about what your body is feeling right here and right now. So you're back in Tadasana, back at the top of your mat. You're going to take a journey down as it's just about time to give yourself a bit of rest from the heated series. Again, soft heat can be just as important to create. It can help kindle the fire a bit more. It can help build that momentum for whatever it is you're leaning into, whatever intention is lighting the way for your heart. So from Tadasana, we're just going to do a half salutation to get down to the mat. Inhale, when you're ready, arms come up to the sun one more time. And then exhale, hinge from the hips, the heart leads you forward. Trust the free fall into your Uttanasana, your fold. Inhale, spine rises halfway, finding a tabletop back or a semblance of. And then exhale, bend the knees, plant the hands, drop the knees down to a tabletop shape. And then from your tabletop, you're just going to choose a hip to sit back on. Legs will swing themselves through your center. All of this is just to bring yourself down to the mat. Welcome yourself here. It's going to take a few moments. Make any little bitty movements with the body that you like. All of this is just to find a comfortable place. Maybe you like your savasana on the spine. Maybe after you've been on the ground, you want to come up to a seated savasana. Maybe a seated savasana even feels a little more appropriate given the movements you've done today. All your choice. Ultimately, find whatever feels good for you and allow the body to soften just a little bit to that place of trust, that choice that you are allowing yourself today with your mat. So we'll take a couple moments here. Give yourself some time just to process those 4 postures plus your salutation plus any of those introductory movements. What are you feeling? How are you feeling within? And how are you using that information from your body to help you move as you need to, authentically, purely you in this world? So recall your breath, bring back to bear your heartbeat. Leave behind any tension you might have felt during today's practice. And enjoy a few minutes of rest in your savasana. I will bring you back to the here and now shortly. The time has come to begin guiding yourself back to this plane. Heed the feeling of your breath. Heed the sensation of air as it once more moves through your nose, mindfully down to the lungs. Heed the feeling of your lungs expanding, making space as the ribs rise, the heart rises. Heed the sensation of air leaving the lungs as they empty, the ribs receding, the chest lowering. As that same air mindfully leaves the body through a nose or mouth, your exhalation. Over time, your fingertips and toes may begin to wiggle themselves a bit. The wrists and ankles and neck may also begin to move. Circles at the wrists and ankles, tipping the neck, or circling the neck if you're in a seated savasana. And finally, welcoming any movements for your body specifically. What personal choices do you make to honor and strengthen your tether back to the corporeal plane? And all the while, recall your sankalpa, that heartfelt intention you invited for your practice today. A little extra love, a little extra confidence, channeling the heat, soft as it is within you, to burn your way through the path ahead. A fiery path that you forge with every breath and every thought you take in this world. You are always welcome to end your practice on your spine in your chosen savasana. Maybe you'd like to meet me in the seat of your choice. Moving mindfully again, aware of your body, giving it grace and giving it kindness. Eventually, the arms, the legs, the eyes find a ceiling shape that holds space for your journey today. A journey for you, a journey that always reminds you that every time you meet your mat is a new experience, where your body will teach you something different every day. Maybe they're lessons that you already know, but it's nice to be reminded just how brightly our fire can burn. It has been my humble honor to have shared space with you today, as you have shared space with me. Thank you for making time for yourself in this helter-skelter world, and may you always live this life authentically for you, bringing forth your signature shine, fire, and radiance to this beautiful planet we share. The luminosity in me cherishes, respects, and will always celebrate the luminous, burning heart in you. Shanti. Namaste. Thank you as always for making time for yourself. I hope that you have a wonderful day ahead, a wonderful time ahead, and may you always continue to live in that authentic light you carry. Namaste.